All right, like you said, I'm Dr. John Ferrell. Today we're going to talk about stem cell use in the U.S. and abroad. So, as she kind of mentioned, my background, I have over 15 years doing regenerative medicine. Worked with professional sports teams. One of the founders of Regenerative Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We are a 6 location practice with 15 providers in the greater DC area. I'm on the board for AAOM as well as for Toby. So let's talk about our objectives for today. One is we want to kind of distinguish the difference between layman's terms and the FDA's view on stem cells and the name stem cell. Two is we want to talk about how MFAT and BMAC are safe, evidence-based, U.S. compliant modalities that we can use with level 1 evidence, specifically in osteoarthritis. Three, we want to compare the safety, efficacy, and legal protection of having a procedure performed in the U.S. versus lack of some of those things when you have that performed internationally. Four, we're going to talk about the new state laws that were passed that allow people to use stem cells in Florida and in Texas. And then five, we're going to talk about FDA supremacy, where the federal law actually supersedes some of these state laws. And then lastly, we want to kind of do kind of a cost of value kind of proposition, comparing what we do here in the States versus what they can do overseas. So first, let's talk about mesenchymal stem cells, right? So this term was first published in 1991 by Dr. Arnold Kaplan. He was a basic scientist who was the person who knows more about stem cells than pretty much anybody in the world. And so back in 1991, he found these cells that he would say could make them dance. He could turn them into bone, he could turn them into heart cells, into lung tissue, into tendon tissue. And he said these magical cells have the ability to transform and to turn into any type of cell. What he realized over time is that that only happens in the lab. When we take these cells and we actually inject them into a human being, we thought that these cells would go to tendon or go to cartilage, go to meniscus and turn into those cells, but that's actually not what happens.